Hi and welcome. Mariam here, sharing about how to live a more nourishing, energizing and prosperous life. Today in this video, it's been quite a long time. I haven't done a video about updates, Q&A, what is going on in a life right now, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to make a video answering a feedback that I had from the fasting course I have helped Elitum doing, and someone was saying something that I found very interesting on fasting and changing diet and planning, and yeah, I'm gonna share on that. So I hope you're very well. I know it's a strange time at the moment for some people, and for others it's a time of blessings and opportunities, and maybe for others it's a time of thinking and hardship and intense emotions. Whatever is your flavor at the moment, I hope you go through it in the smoothest way possible. Okay, so the feedback I had from the fasting course, link is underneath this video if you want to check out the course, is okay, so I stopped all fasting or trying 1 meal a day and just eating 2 juice meals and 1 solid fruit meal in the evening, but I would like to fast again. I will try to pick 1 day a week on which I'll just keep dry longer in the morning, maybe have some water as lunch, and then have a juice at dinner. I think that is enough for me right now, and then maybe in some time I could extend it to just water as dinner and then have juice the next day and breakfast as normal. Okay, and there I am here reading, and I can see myself, the person I was years ago. I'm not comparing, I'm just saying that this is something that we human beings tend to go through. Planning planning on the future, planning what is it that we're going to want, eat, decide, live. And the truth is, this is such a major obstacle because we don't know. Okay, I go sometimes at the shop to get something and I see people with big how is the word in English? I've got the word in French but not in English, like big trolleys full of food and stuff. I'm like, how do they know they're even going to want that in a week from now, 3 days, 2 weeks? I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how people decide for themselves mentally what is their body going to want and need. Yeah. So 10 years ago, I was telling myself, yeah, Mariam, in 5 years, you will be able to eat this and that, not eat this and not eat that. Live there, have this amount of money, be with someone, have kids, la la la, whatever it is that I wanted back then 10 years ago. And today I'm like reflecting back and thinking, wait, I didn't know I would go through that experience that I have just finished healing, right? Or I didn't know I would encounter this person that helped me grow in such a way that was unexpected. 10 years ago, I didn't know I would be traveling here and there. That changed the plans I could have and changed the outcome of everything. We just don't know what is going to come, right? So therefore, we can't plan. And that's something we have to let go on this path, especially living on energy, having more energy, diet transition, having more wisdom, maybe, if this is how you want to call it. We need to let go of planning and thinking about the future. I'm not saying we should never plan anything, but when it comes to things that our body needs, we do not know. We do not know because our body will tell us day after day, week after week, years after years. And it's like how, sounds a bit negative, but how selfish it is to think mentally, this is how it's going to be, this is what I want for my body, and not even question, what is it that you, baby, want? What is it that, my body wants? What is it that my body needs to go through to be happy, to be fulfilled, to have its need answered? Yeah. So if we could just take a time sometimes to reflect on that, that would make such a difference on our daily life. Such a difference. I thought I'd share as well. I would take advantage to have this feedback. Thank you for sharing. I'm not saying again it's bad. I'm just saying there's things we can't plan. When it comes to food and drink and diet transition and fasting, you can't plan. The only thing we can do is to follow what we feel. And we can't have expectations. So really it's like that. You do something, you enjoy what you do your workout, you walk in nature, whatever you practice that you want to enjoy. And you forget, you don't think about this and this and that. And because you don't think about eating, you don't think about having pizza, you don't think about having this type of food, it just happens. But you don't plan, okay? You don't plan, tomorrow I'm going to eat this and that. In a year from now, hopefully I'm going to drink less or have juices in the evening. You don't know. Because you don't know in a year from now that maybe having this one day of junk food is going to heal something from your past that is going to happen in a few days. You don't know if in 2 years from now, you may need to have a day where you have meat because it's going to heal whichever experience you're just going through right now. We don't know. And I can say that because when I look at my past and I look at what I went through, like everyone else, I realize there's things that I did following that one thing I follow, what gives me energy, that no one could tell me I'll have to follow that. Or no one could teach me this is the best for you. No one could say, Mariam, you're going to go through this, you should do that, you should drink this. No one can say. Basically, no one knows you, no one knows what you have to do yourself with your own makeup, due to your own background, due to your own memories, to live on energy more, to change that diet more, to transition to something else more. No one knows, not even yourself. And the only way you can know, I believe today, from my experience, is follow what gives you energy. Even if there is no explanation to it. And that is the hardest part. Because you know what? What you will need to follow to live on energy is probably your biggest fear. Or should I say your biggest fears with an S. And that's something no one can tell you. No teachers, no gurus, no masters, no one, because they don't even share their own struggles. They don't. And I think it's very scary to do that. And I'm going to do that. Not like struggle, but what I did myself to live on energy more. And these are the things. Number one, it's not only your biggest fears, but it's also probably unconventional to you, to your family, to the way you were raised. It's probably completely seen as unwise or irrational or not okay. And maybe you will also have people telling you that. Your family, your friends telling you, you're really gonna do that? Are you crazy? Disgusting? How can you do that? How dare you? Don't want to see you no more? Maybe. And you still have to cope with it. And you still have to be fine with it. And you still have to love them and yourself for allowing you to go through that, to heal you. And to heal others in the meantime. Because it's not just a single process, it's other people around you too. So for me to heal so yeah, before I go into sharing, let me say, most people on the path of living on energy / having more energy / having more powers, because this is what it is, won't tell you the struggles, won't tell you the struggles they had to face. They will only show you the good way. Meditation, breathing techniques. And it does feel good, right? I'm not like trying to say it's bad or not okay. But on this path, let's be honest, 90% of this path is challenges, shit, you know, terrible, terrible for a human being, concessions, sacrifices, compromises. And maybe, yeah, there's 10% of good stuff and enjoyable. I'm not saying it's unenjoyable. I'm saying through the shit, you have to find the joy and the enjoyable part. and the understanding, because that actually understanding is what is going to help you keep remaining happy and compassionate. No understanding, nothing, no energy. Okay, so this being said, I'm just going to share with you an example, okay, so that you can understand. If you are expecting this path to be easy and fun and smooth, stop now. Don't even start. If you are expecting to gain more energy, wisdom, powers, whatever you want, when it comes to living on energy, without sacrificing so much in your life, probably 80% of what you have, mostly inside, invisible, forget about it. Don't even start. Because the truth is, it's freaking hard, freaking scary, and that's every day you're going to face new challenges that you didn't know, and you've got to heal those challenges through food as well, until you let go and accept that it's not through control and planning and deciding that you can succeed on this path. No, no way. So if you followed some of my previous videos, and if you are part of the newsletter, I did share a few times, specifically recently, I opened up about my past with abusive situations, when what we call abusive, but as humans, but really we can say empowering as well, empowering relationships and empowering situations and experiences. But if I talk in a human way, okay, connected to society and their vocabulary, it would be abusive sexually, emotionally, and physically as well, you know, all kind of abusive stuff. But yeah, I did share that openly recently, last year, and I also shared that I quitted everything last year as well, 2019, to follow one thing, what gives me energy. And what was giving me energy back then was dancing and fitness and moving my body. So if you haven't seen that video, link is underneath this one, so that you can understand more what I'm gonna share about. And one of the things that you will need to figure out when you do that, following what gives you energy, is to have faith. Faith in something that isn't even explainable, like you may call it God, Allah, the universe, life, whatever. But faith in that spark within you that is telling you that this is the direction for you to take. And in theory, it's actually not explainable. If people were telling me, or were asking back then, why did you move to the UK? Why did you close your business in France? Why did you do this or that? The answer, I didn't have an answer. The answer would be because I just know I have to do it. And it doesn't make sense for a lot of people. Especially, I remember my family would go mad, like, you need, telling me you need therapy, you need to stop, you need to work in a company where you can't actually leave or quit. And I understand. Because I understand, then I have compassion for myself and for them. And maybe they were right. Yeah, I'm a little crazy, and maybe I needed therapy. We all need, right? And it's fine. But my way to do therapy is to follow what gives me energy. And if you do that, that's going to be your therapy as well. And at the same time, it's going to be others' therapy, being around you, healing yourself. You're going to heal others. I do believe in that now. I don't believe this sentence that says, you need to heal yourself before you can heal others. No, not my experience. We constantly heal, we constantly grow and transform. And the way to transform others in the process, in the meantime, is to transform yourself, is to follow. And you don't even have to think about it. You just need to do that one thing. Follow what gives you energy and surrender to it. That is so hard. That is so hard. So when I arrived in the UK, I told you I went through doing events. I went through realizing I needed to connect with my body more and spend time with my body. So I went dancing, and I decided I'm going to live in abundance dancing. I'm not going to do something else. I don't want to, even though I'm educated. I have a master degree in business management, marketing, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, fine. But I didn't want to do that. Was not interested. I knew that I just wanted to connect with my body through dancing and walking in nature and connecting with people. That's all I wanted to do. So at some point, life sent me a few experiences. And number one was a place to work in as a dancer. Now, I didn't even, it's trying again to explain, you don't plan things and you don't decide, they come to you, because it's like an inner calling of following that and being so strict on yourself that this is what is giving my body energy, this is what my body wants, I'm going to do this and not question anything else. So for me to heal those abusive situations and grow my connection with my body and dance and have this energy and fuel myself to this energy and enjoy the process, at some point I had the opportunity to work in a place where I was dancing, and it was a bar, a place where people come and drink. Well, it was basically a gentleman's entertainment place, right? Very funny to say, but I have to laugh about it today, even though some people around me won't laugh at that and be like, how could you do that? But you know what? To be able to understand why people want certain things, sometimes it's worth and wise to put yourself in their shoes instead of blaming them. So for me to understand why some people want sex in a way that, without my consent, for instance, I had to understand first, why is it that people want sex? And I never knew that. I never had the answer to that, because I never enjoyed sex really in my life. Like sex and relationships and men and this entire area was just taboo in the way I was raised, because I wasn't raised with male around me. And in my education it was like, you woman, you have to just in other words, not be a slave to a man, but like do what they say, they're clever than you. I've always grew up in this belief. It's a bit of the Muslim way, like you have to, if you're a wife, the Muslim way. I'm not saying anything about religion, but I'm just saying you have to listen to him, you have to cook for your husband, you have to clean your house for your husband, and basically being a servant of a male. And I never had any other understanding of that, because that's the only thing that was in my brain, that's the only thing that was implemented in my education. Again, everybody did a good job in my family. I'm just saying that's how I lived it and went through it. So anyway, to make it short, being in this place where I had to dance naked as well, right? Let's be honest. Gentlemen's club mean like you have to strip, but I was dancing on the stage and all that was just enjoyable. I was just focusing on the good and nourishing aspect of this, as I do share in my courses, how to focus on what is nourishing in a place and nothing else. That's also a capacity you need to have. So I was there, and then meeting so many amazing people, especially men, and realizing their struggles, realizing their weaknesses, realizing their needs, and realizing how their lives may have been fucked up, may have been, sorry for the rude word, may have been challenging and hard, and maybe how hard they were working in their businesses, finance industry, all these things, and having no time for themselves to enjoy after that. Having a wife who wasn't even present or caring or was busy herself, and having these body needs that they just didn't know how to handle. And I had understanding. I had an understanding I had never had before of people's needs. And I could have this understanding I had never before because I was putting my shoes, connecting with those people. So that was one thing. I realized I never before asked myself, what is it that people need and why? So then I was like, okay, what is it that people want sex? Because I don't. And then I went back to my sexual experiences and I realized that they've always been painful or unpleasant. And that one day, just gonna share, this is so embarrassing, but I do have to share about it. I had my first orgasm with a sex toy. Can you believe? And that's when I realized, damn, that's why people want sex. I didn't know before because I never really had that, right? And then I realized when this happened, I was like, okay, now I understand why people want sex and why people need to find a way to get that no matter what, almost, because it's like a body need. And that experience and that feeling is one of the best in life, if not the best for most humans. Now, because I am blessed to know other practices like meditation, sun gazing, and a lot more breathing techniques, and yeah, because I know those, I feel that those are more enjoyable in general. Not that I don't enjoy sex, but those are like really, really fulfilling, and it's not like a craving anymore. It's not like the same feeling that you create or same side effects that you can have with sex. So I'm fine. But if I didn't have those practices, I would be craving sex for sure. I would be like those people who were abusing me in the past because they didn't know how to handle that, and because maybe if you're in front of someone who looks so hot, your body can't repress the feeling. In other words, I was understanding and I was getting more compassionate thanks to that experience that life sent my way working in a stripping club. Okay? Now, I knew this would only be temporary, and guess what? As soon as I was over with this understanding, I could quit. Not that I could quit, that actually I received a phone call from the place telling me, Mariam, you can have 2 weeks off, we're giving you 2 weeks off. I didn't even ask for anything, was the only one that was giving 2 weeks off, and I knew that was a sign for me to leave and never come back there. Okay? But when I did tell my family, because I see me living in integrity, I don't want to hide things. So when you live this way, it's also another challenge, because you're gonna face people's judgment. People not understanding you because they don't do the work I'm telling you to do, putting yourself in other people's shoes. They don't do that. So they're like, oh, this is so bad, you're gonna go to hell, this is what is gonna happen to you, whatever. And then it's your responsibility to be strong enough, okay, and assertive, to listen to them, not react. I did that, but no point doing that, okay? And just listen to them and understand and feel compassionate for yourself going through therapy this way, and them using you to express themselves. Although, yeah, it doesn't actually matter. As long as they express themselves, they express an energy, and it's fine. But yeah, my point is, and my conclusion is, from this long video, sorry, nobody knows for you, and you got to be strong enough to walk your path, following what gives you energy, even if it sounds unconventional and weird and whatever, because that is the way for you to heal the fastest way possible. And no one else knows, not even yourself. God, life, the universe knows better than you. And if you can trust that, have the faith and the guts to trust that and walk in that direction, life will take care of you. The day you need to leave because you're done with the experience, you're gonna leave. The day you need to move on to something else, you will do. And it's not from your own willingness, or not from your own, rather, shall I say, mental power. It's from your heart. Following and looking at the signs around you and deciding, no, and deciding upon the sign that you've been given, okay, do I accept the mission? Do I walk the path? Do I really follow what gives me energy? Even though it is scary, it's putting me beyond my comfort zone. It's putting me beyond anything I've ever done in my life. It's actually the opposite of the belief system I have, or the way I was raised, and the education I had, and the religion I had. But if you really want to be living on energy, you got to be that strong and that faithful. It means putting away all beliefs, all religions, all whatever, but still being, still relying on God through your own connection with God, shall I say. It's hard to explain that. But yeah, that's what you're going to have to do. And even the teachers and people who talk to you, not even following what they say, not even following what I say, don't do me, absolutely not. Following what comes up in you when you hear someone saying something, okay? If I hear someone telling me, you should fast 1 day a week, what it makes me think of, if I think about a memory where I was traumatized by that, or I was in pain trying to fast a day a week, that feeling should be what you follow. And what this feeling is leading you to do should be what you follow, not what the person says. You understand? It's kind of subtle. Don't follow what people say. Follow the feeling that your body releases when someone says something. Okay. I feel like I've said a lot on this. I could share a lot more, but later on, about the challenges of going through living on energy. But after you go through whichever mission, when you do achieve whichever mission you had to achieve to heal yourself and others in the process, you feel so much more powerful. And it's a bit like a video game. You play, and at the end you unlock achievements. You unlock, you unlock, you unlock. And that feeling is wonderful. That feeling is actually the only feeling you will want to go further for, because nothing else is as enjoyable as that. Unlocking new facets of you, new perspective of human beings, understanding you have no identity. You just play a game of being a dancer that day, being a painter the next day, being a filmmaker in a week. And yeah, nobody will support you and nobody will be there, maybe. And if you do have people like you, but be faithful, it's gonna work. Be patient, no expectations. And again, I'm gonna share that as well, about being alone in this interesting time of the year, of the history of the world. I was feeling frustrated just before making this video. I was feeling frustrated because I was like, my mom is having a good time, to my perspective, with other people in quarantine, meaning my sister is also in quarantine with her husband and a family and people. My friends, my family on my dad's side, they are together, and I'm the only one alone. I'm gonna cry, right? I'm the only one alone during this quarantine. So yeah, I was frustrated. I'm not completely alone actually, but in terms of intimate connection, I am. So I was thinking about this and wondering, why wait? Can you see the blessings? Can you see that these people around you, you may see them as happy together, but can you see that this is a perfect time for you to do something that you have pushed away so long? Now is a good time. And for me to be alone now is actually not alone. It's the opportunity to connect with you in a way that I have always wanted to do, and I've never done that. Kept pushing away for whichever reason. You're going to be judged, Mariam. You're going to be laughed at or whatever. Yeah, your family is going to watch your video and think, oh, she's crazy, why is she doing that? Yeah, whatever. I decided that there's nothing crazy or nothing unwise as long as you share it in a way that is empowering, and in a way that is healing, and in a way that is freeing. Yeah, okay. So for all of you who think you're alone, you know, find the way, find the eyes to see how you're not alone and how you can share with others and connect. For all of you who think I'm not going to share this and that because it doesn't follow my religion, my lifestyle, my background, my belief, don't. Open your eyes and find the eyes to see how this is a perfection in your life and how this is the best way for you to be the master of yourself and an inspiration for others as well, if this is what you want. Nothing is disgusting in this world. Nothing is unwise, and nothing is worth of judgment and criticism. No. Everything according to how you live it, and with your own intention of living the best way you can and healing yourself the fastest way you can, this is worthy, and thus worthy of sharing as well. Okay, I'm gonna stop here for now, and I shall catch you soon in another video. Thank you. Bye.